Welcome to my channel. Today I am going to tell about a story which is called Benny's Bubble Bath Bonanza. Enjoy it. Once upon a time, in a cozy little town nestled among rolling green hills, lived a curious and adventurous boy named Benny. Benny was always up to something exciting, whether it was exploring the nearby forest or inventing new games with his friends. But there was one thing Benny absolutely dreaded: bath time. Every evening, like clockwork, his mom would call out, "Benny, it's time for your bath." And every evening, Benny would groan and drag his feet to the bathroom. "Why do I have to take a bath every single day?" Benny grumbled to himself one evening as he reluctantly filled the bathtub with water. He stared at the plain water, wishing for something to make bath time more fun. Just then, Benny's eyes lit up as he remembered the bottle of bubble bath sitting on the shelf. "Maybe bubbles will make bath time less boring," he thought with a mischievous grin. Carefully, Benny poured a generous amount of bubble bath into the water and watched in amazement as colorful bubbles began to fill the bathtub. He dipped his hand into the water and giggled as the bubbles tickled his skin. "This is more like it," Benny exclaimed, feeling a newfound excitement for bath time. From that day on, Benny's bath time transformed into a bubbly adventure. He would create bubble mountains, bubble castles, and even bubble creatures that floated around him as he splashed and played in the tub. But little did Benny know, his bubble bath bonanza was about to take an unexpected turn. One evening, as Benny was enjoying his bubbly bath, he decided to see how big of a bubble he could blow. With a deep breath, he puckered his lips and blew with all his might. To his surprise, the bubble grew bigger and bigger until it enveloped him entirely, lifting him off the ground and carrying him out of the bathroom and into the night sky. Benny gasped in astonishment as he soared through the air, surrounded by a shimmering bubble. He felt a mix of fear and excitement as he wondered where the bubble was taking him. As the bubble floated higher and higher, Benny could see the twinkling stars above and the glowing lights of his town below. Despite his initial fear, he couldn't help but feel a sense of wonder and adventure. Little did Benny know, his bubble bath bonanza was just beginning, and the adventures that awaited him were beyond his wildest dreams. But for now, as he soared through the night sky in his bubble, Benny couldn't help but smile and embrace the magic of the moment. As Benny floated higher and higher in his shimmering bubble, he couldn't help but feel a mix of excitement and nervousness. He had never imagined that his simple bubble bath could lead to such an extraordinary adventure. The night air was cool against his skin as the bubble carried him through the starry sky. Benny gazed down at the twinkling lights below, wondering where his bubble would take him next. Suddenly, a gust of wind swept through the sky, causing the bubble to veer off course. Benny held on tight as the bubble spun and twirled through the air, carrying him farther and farther away from his cozy little town. As the hours passed, Benny watched in awe as the landscape below changed from rolling hills to towering mountains and vast oceans. He marveled at the beauty of the world around him, feeling grateful for the unexpected adventure that had come his way. But as dawn approached and the first light of morning peeked over the horizon, Benny realized that he was beginning to feel homesick. Despite the excitement of his journey, he longed to return to his family and friends back home. Just as Benny was starting to worry about how he would find his way back, the bubble began to descend towards the ground. With a gentle whoosh, it landed softly on a grassy hilltop, and Benny climbed out, feeling both relieved and exhilarated. Looking around, Benny realized that he was in a place unlike any he had ever seen before. The air was filled with the sweet scent of flowers, and colorful butterflies flitted around him. In the distance, he could see a bustling village nestled among the trees. Curious to explore this new land, Benny set off down the hill, his heart pounding with excitement. As he wandered through the village, he was greeted by friendly faces and warm smiles. The villagers welcomed him with open arms, eager to hear his tale of how he had arrived in their land. Benny spent the day exploring the village, marveling at the sights and sounds of this magical place. He made friends with children his own age, who showed him their favorite games and shared stories of their own adventures. As the sun began to set and the stars twinkled overhead, Benny knew that it was time to say goodbye to his new friends and continue his journey home. With a grateful heart and a sense of wonder, he climbed back into his bubble and set off into the night sky once again. As he soared through the air, Benny couldn't help but feel a newfound appreciation for the simple joys of home and the magic of friendship. And as he finally returned to his cozy little town, he knew that his Bubble Bath Bonanza had been the start of an unforgettable adventure. As Benny's bubble floated gently back towards his cozy little town, he couldn't help but feel a sense of excitement tinged with relief. After the whirlwind adventure in the magical land, he was eager to be back home with his family and friends. The familiar sights of his town came into view as the bubble descended, and Benny's heart swelled with happiness at the thought of reuniting with his loved ones. He could already picture his mom's warm smile and his friends' eager greetings. With a soft landing, the bubble touched down in Benny's backyard, and he clambered out, feeling a mix of exhaustion and exhilaration. He took a deep breath, savoring the familiar scent of home, and made his way to the front door. As he stepped inside, Benny was greeted by cheers and applause from his family and friends, who had been anxiously awaiting his return. His mom enveloped him in a tight hug, tears of joy shining in her eyes. "Oh, Benny, we were so worried about you," she exclaimed, holding him close. "We're just glad you're safe and sound." Benny's friends crowded around him, bombarding him with questions about his incredible adventure and marveling at the stories he had to tell. They listened in awe as Benny recounted his journey through the starry sky and the magical land he had discovered. As the evening wore on, Benny realized just how much he had missed his home and the people who meant the most to him. He laughed and played with his friends, grateful for their unwavering support and friendship. And as he settled down for the night, tucked snugly into bed with thoughts of his extraordinary adventure dancing through his mind, Benny knew that he would always treasure the memories of his Bubble Bath Bonanza. From that day on, bath time became a cherished ritual for Benny, filled with laughter and excitement as he remembered the incredible journey that had led him home. And as he drifted off to sleep, surrounded by the warmth and love of his family, Benny couldn't help but smile, knowing that true happiness could be found right where he belonged. I hope you enjoy listening to Benny's Bubble Bath Bonanza.